Hello everyone, my name is Jeet Ashwin Shah and today I'm going to talk about my topic road safety analytics. Uh, let's dive into the topic. Imagine our roads, a safety and efficient network for everyone to connect with one place to the another. Data analysis is a very important tool that we can use to make sure that the roads and the traffic on it are safe, and we have massive amount of traffic data with us, and it's just like a raw information present over there, like the traffic signals are working in this area or not, the roads are damaged or not. Similarly, even the weather condition matters when you're traveling, as if it's a snowy road, there are uh, there are times when a lot of accidents happen. So by analyzing it, we can see a lot of patterns and trends and predict places where accidents are more frequent and provide the all the help needed to the person. This foresight is our superpower. It allows us to proactively create a safer environment for everyone who uses our street. Here, Here's how Zero's safety prediction works. We can strategically deploy a police in high risk area, deterring risky behaviors before it happens. Like there might be certain areas where people tend to use more phone while driving, and which is very dangerous for the other person. So we can have police to look into those matters. By predicting accidents hotspot, we can implement zone specific speed limits. If there are places with high speed limits and we are experiencing a lot of accidents, we can do tend to lower the speed limit so that everyone can drive safe. Where, but the biggest impact is on saving life, because life matters. Prediction helps us position emergency service closer to the potential accidents, leading to faster response times. So let's imagine driver being informed about a high risk area. They can take more precaution and drive very attentively and have a lot of self awareness and responsibility about their surroundings. In the end, prioritizing road safety prediction benefits everyone. It improves the quality of life for all drivers, pedestrians, emergency responders, and our community. Let's unlock the power of data and create a safer uh, future for us on the roads. Let's dive into the problem statement. Uh, the traffic accidents remains a significant public safety threat, causing injuries, fatalities, and immense emotional and economic strains on individuals and communities. Unfortunately, our current road safety measures are primarily reactive, responding to accidents after they occur. If we already knew in certain weather conditions this particular uh, section tends to have more accidents, we can deploy the emergency responders before the time, so that we can save that person's life. Our main objective is traffic accidents remain a significant public safety threat, causing injuries, fatalities, and immense emotional and economic strain. But the main thing that we understand by accident probating zone, we can strategize position of the emergency services closer to those areas and make sure that each and every individual who is into an accident receive the proper treatment as fast as possible. Ultimately, the main objective is to significantly decrease the number of accidents and fatalities proactively measures powered by our data analysis. Now talk about the data set that we have. The data set is obtained from an open source that the US government has uploaded the API. The data collection halves come from self-reported crash reports by the driver, like if it is a very minor crash or something, and the major is by the police officer who were present at the crime scene. Let In the next slide you will be able to see how the raw data looks like from the API, and how we clean the data and use specific feature selection so that we are considering not the whole features of the API, just a minute of it. Let's dive into some exploratory data analysis. As we can see, uh, the first graph on our left side tells us about the number of crashes by the day of the week. So as we can see that usually people tend to go out more on Friday nights or Friday, in particular, because it's near to the weekend and people like to let loose themselves and focus like about having a nice weekend the next day. So they tend to have certain we need to find the behavior why it's the accidents are more caused on a Friday, and even on weekdays the accidents are more. But like it's kind of constant because a lot of people travel to their workplaces, and they some way or the other they end up in an accident, you can say like that. The second graph on the right basically talks about the crash type. So crash type is a category that the data set had. It talks about if the person was injured or the car had to be towed after the accident, or there was no injury and the drivers were like it was a very minute accident and the traffic went on. So we can see that most of the accidents occurred in the daylight, but even in darkness, even though there were lighted streets, there were a lot of serious injuries. Then that proves that maybe the night is one of the factors where drivers are not that attentive, and that leads to having more injuries in the ratio. The third analysis that is talking about on the left side is the top 10 contributing causes which are leading to the accidents. The first one is failing to yield the right of way. So whenever a person is on the stop sign, maybe he forgets that he came later than the other person, and there is a sense of confusion who has to go first. And in that moment, they might think that no, it's our turn, and they will just rush out and maybe get into an accident. The figure on the right just shows us at what time usually the traffics are occurring. We can see it's during the uh, af- like between the evening time when everyone gets off the work, when they are a bit like tired because of their work, day to day life, you can think like that. But yeah, the peak hours are during 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. uh, from this data, we wanted to kind of like now get an insight if what kind of data, like what kind of crash was occurring, and how can we deploy certain emergency responder to that particular places. So we used various ML models for that, those predictions about the crash type. The next slide, we use naive Bayes and decision tree to technically find which crash type was occurring, whether there was a severe injury or whether it was just a minute injury and the driver just drove by and like that, or there a tow vehicle required or not. With the model we were get with the naive Bayes model, we were getting really good accuracy, which was about 0.87. That means that we can use this to make sure that proper tow vehicle should be deployed or not, or make some crucial decisions based out of it. And even the decision tree states was yielding really good accuracy of 0.80. Next, next, let's get into the result. The other predictions that we were trying to predict with it, it was about the severity of the injuries or whether there was an injury or not. We use SVM and we use neural nets. Both of them performed really well. The SVM was able to predict the severity of the injury, whether it was a very severe injury that the uh, there was a emergency respondent required within the 10 minutes, or if the driver was able to like avoid any injuries and go back home safely, or like certain conditions where driver was near to death, while the neural networks was able to predict whether the person was injured or not in the binary classification. Yeah, so thus, in conclusion, I would like to say that road safety is one of the most important factors when one is on the road. Everyone should know how they should follow the rules and regulation on the road and make themselves safe. Not only that, there should be a lot of precautions which the government has to take about the road surface conditions during the various weathers and post various speed limits, so that the person driving can be aware about the surrounding. If the road is damaged, the workers should uh, construct the road faster so that they can avoid accidents in the future. And in the end, I would just like to say that there are various ML models that we can implement and make sure that the this models helps and helps the emergency respondents in a way that they can save a person's life. As I have in the video also I have said that one person's life matters, and if we are able to save anyone's life with it by providing the proper emergency equipments, or by making sure that the day-to-day traffic is not being stopped. So yeah, that's the main conclusion I would say about the project. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a good day, everyone.